Welcome back to another episode of Full Circle. I'm here today with myself, Kelvin and Reuben, the usual suspects, and today we're going to be speaking about, the topic, the episode is called More Money, No Problems, and we're going to be speaking about money in general, the importance money has to us, and you know how big of a part money is playing in our lives so far, really. So yeah, let's get into it. Just genuine question.
Whenever you like introduce the show, like you get into your interview bag, like what's this?
Is that funny, like?
Bro, relax. Like don't worry, you can like. Do you know what I mean? Relax.
You know what, yeah? You need to do these intros, not me.
That's why I stopped doing them. Yeah, I can't do it. Yeah.
Well, let's go again then.
Nah, it's calm.
Just go from your first question to
they give it like 3 seconds, like.
Yeah, so they can.
Welcome. I don't even know why it's that funny, but you know. Let's go again. Cool.
On a scale,
money is 10. How can it not?
Yeah, it's a 10 for me.
You need it.
Yeah.
That's the long and short of it. You need it, man. You need it for everything.
10 for you, Luca?
Probably like 8 for me, to be fair.
8?
Yeah.
Oh. How come it's 8?
Yeah.
Oh, because I like money for the things that I like need, and I like financial freedom, but I think like I can have loads of money and still feel empty. So it's like that sort of clouds my judgment a bit. And I was having an interesting conversation yesterday with my dad about money, actually, so it's interesting that we're speaking about this today. And it was just like, he has a very non-materialistic view on money in general, and I feel like I've got a different perspective. It's like I'm a believer in you can have so much money, but like you can just feel empty at the same time. So
Have you
like,
ever felt like that?
I felt like, yeah, I have, yeah. Say for my age, I don't do badly. After getting back from Asia, I'm not broke, but I didn't have as much as I did. But when I had quite a bit for my age, I still didn't feel satisfied. It's like it's just digits on a screen. The fulfillment wasn't there really. But I still chase the money. So that's the thing. It still is an essential thing in life, regardless. But yeah, I don't know. What about you, Lord?
Yeah, I like your viewpoint, you know, that money's not everything, and that, you know, you can have a lot of money and it still wouldn't fulfill you. But I'm a little different still. Why are you laughing?
No, because I knew the butt was coming.
Okay, yeah, cool. I would like to get a lot of money first and then see how I feel.
Yeah.
Because then I'll be able to know, like, okay, does it really fulfill me? Does it really solve all my problems? Does it heal me from like past situations, just growing up, not having like a lot of money, like, do you know what I mean? So I want to see for myself. I don't know about you, Reuben.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. Like, you always hear people like, money isn't everything. I'd like to see that for myself. Like, I'd like to have all the money and see if it's everything or not. Right? I can't say I haven't felt empty when I've been at my highest financially. I've always felt happy, regardless of what's going on. Even with the whole sickle cell situation, like, having the cushion of, being good financially has always made the situation better for me anyway. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, being financially, feeling financially free can unlock a lot of positive feelings, to be fair. So I'm with you lots on that one. I can't lie. It's a very two-way thing for me, because one part's telling me my previous point, but the other part is, questioning whether, cool, if I did have a lot of money, like, would I be feeling the certain ways that I do now? If I had a lot of money, if I was feeling upset and I had financial freedom, I could just, book a flight to the Maldives for 2 weeks. Or buy yourself a car and stuff. But it's like, I could still have a 100k Rolex, whatever, and still drown in my sorrows. You know what I mean? Like, when I've been in places where I've felt I'm on top of the world, I've been in, these 5-star hotels in, like, Vietnam, for example, but I didn't feel they were great and they were amazing, but I didn't feel like this is it, It's like, I didn't feel like this is the reward for me working this hard. I feel like there's something more past money that, like, me personally, I need to grasp before I can be, feeling on top of the world for having X amount of money, That's how I feel now. But then again, it really takes getting that money to really know, as you said. So it's like, I'm really in two minds about the whole money thing, to be honest. Because you get, especially the content you're receiving now on social media is so money orientated. Money is all this on your wrist, this. I know for a fact, if I had like a £500 chain, whatever, I would feel about it. I could be wearing a H&M tee and jeans, and this chain was probably like £50, and I'll just feel exactly the same. Mm-hmm. So I know, in a materialistic sense, money is not an important thing for me, but I still think it's the freedom part of it that makes me want to chase it. Especially knowing where the world is kind of going and the economy is heading. Being financially free just is the goal. And knowing that if you want, you can.
Yeah.
You can make a good life for yourself financially. And
I was going to ask you guys, like, because our first sort of introduction to money or experience to money is like through our family, through our main caregivers. And that's at the point where we're relying on others now to meet our needs. And so, like, for you guys, growing up, were your family able to, like, meet your needs, like, growing up?
Yeah. My, I wouldn't say we weren't the richest. I mean, we lived in the, same places that most of, our demographic in particular would live in. But we was cool, like, I had a PlayStation, I went on holidays. But that was my mum's incentive. She wanted to make sure that, like, at least every year we did something, as far as creating memories. So there was a period where every year we was going Butlins. And it was cool, it was enough. Like, we did stuff, it was enough. So it's not like I had nothing. I didn't have no PlayStation, I didn't get, crep for school, didn't have no holidays or no toys or, I had that stuff. Maybe not in abundance, but, I had enough to know that, oh yeah, this is nice, I'd like to do this for myself when I grow older and I'm, independent.
Yeah, I'd say for me, even growing up, pretty much working class, I'd say. My dad was a cab driver, and it's weird because even though like my basics were met in terms of like being clothed, being fed, going to school, I didn't realize just growing up just how much of the things that I didn't get to experience as a youngster. And so when I go to school, I'm thinking, okay, cool, we all grew up in the same era, like we must be similar in some capacity. But it's when we get back from like Christmas holidays or like summer holidays, and the teachers always ask you like, so guys, what'd you get up to in the summer? And then you realize, oh, you went on a couple trips, like, or you got like a couple extra gifts, and it's like you start thinking, like, I don't do any of these things. Like, what's going on there?
So
kind
school
of
was
thing.
what made you realize that you was different.
But at that point, it doesn't, you don't connect the dots yet. You're just thinking, okay, maybe this is just my normal minute. Like, it's no biggie. But it's as you grow older, you start realizing, oh no, there's a disparity. There's a clear difference between sort of my upbringing and my experiences to everyone else's when it comes to like finances. And at that point, you can't do much because you're relying on the others to kind of give you those experiences. But where now you can't, it's just like, that's just that. I don't know if that was like for you. What was it like for you growing up?
I think like sort of similar to Reuben, really. Well, my dad's a self-employed carpenter, like single parent income. Yeah, I always felt like I got what I needed, and at times I did get what I wanted as well. My dad was very smart with his money. That's the thing. Like, he's not a materialistic guy at all, but he's smart with his money. He would invest it in me for like music, like guitar lessons, football, stuff that has now sort of made me who I am now in a sense, So I guess he saw that and invested it in me, which is a smart thing to do. Instead of buying me, with a expensive, flashy clothes, which I'm gonna go out of in the next amount of time.
I see like the contrast for myself. So as my dad was a cab driver, he worked like many hours. But there's this thing like where I'm going in, and I'm like first gen, there's this thing where like our parents have this thing where they need to like send money back home for like, their family back home to help them out and stuff like that. So it wasn't until I got older I started realizing that where I needed money to things just wasn't there, because most of that money was being used for like being sent back home. But I had like no explanation of that. It was more of like, it's just something that they just did. Do you know what I mean? But it came at the expense of I'd say myself and my siblings, because where we needed stuff in the house and where we needed things, a lot of that was just being kind of sent back home. And you kind of start to connect the dots. You're like, hang on a minute, like you be working many hours and stuff like that, and it's like where we need stuff, it's not here. But like when I'm hearing on the phone, like, the plans that he's making and stuff like that, I can see like there's a clear shift in priorities. And so that's where I feel like me relying on someone or relying on my main caregiver to like, meet my needs and stuff like that, it just weren't being met. And you start to question things. You start to resent, and you start to get a little bit angry, because it's like the priority's here. Like, I don't know what's going on back there, but things need to happen here, kind of thing. And so a lot of the time, because of like the shift in priorities, I would say there was definitely a clash between like my parents in terms of like, my mum was always trying to make sure like, encourage my dad, like, look, your priorities are here, focus here. And he had his own ideas, being like the main breadwinner and stuff like that. So I could just see how much of like a strain it put on like their relationship and our family dynamics, where there was just like a shift in priorities. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my dad was more like that than my mum. My dad was kind of, he like did his own thing. He did train, and not did trains, but he worked on trains. And he was more like that in terms of, more preoccupied with what's going on back home. So, yeah, my mum wasn't kind of, I don't know if you want to call it like more progressive thinking or whatever, then it probably would have been the same for the most part. But I don't know, I guess in my case, I'm lucky in that regard. And my mum was kind of, switched on in that regard, so. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like where I'm at now, I've clocked where like, in terms of like asking for help, I kind of seen where that comes from. Because I remember back in the day, like if I needed something, my mum would always tell me go to your dad kind of thing. And so where I'd ask him for like help or like assistance in somewhere, he would say like, no, I don't have money. Yeah. But it's not like a, no, I don't have money, but more it's like a, you're inconveniencing me again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so for me, I've always felt like I need to rush to grab, get my NI number, get a job, and just start providing for myself. Because it's just like, every time I kept asking for things, or anytime my siblings needed something, or if my mum needed something, it always felt like an inconvenience or like a burden to him. Yeah. And so I think very early on, I just kind of learned to like not open up and say like, I need something, because that always meant that there's going to be an argument somewhere, or there's going to be some type of resistance there. So,
how does that affect the way you see money now?
How does it affect the way we see money now?
Yeah.
I'd say for me, how it affects the way I see money now is, if I get money and I want to get something for myself, I'll just get it because I want it, kind of thing. Yeah. And it's like, he's going to tell me no, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, even sometimes I would just get things just to self-soothe, just to say like, yeah, now I got it, now I got money, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I don't know about you lot.
That's a good point. Like, just do it because I can, and you get it, and you're like, yeah, I got that. You know what I mean? So it's a good. I say it like that sometimes as well. The freedom element of it, in a sense. So.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think I agree with that as well. Obviously, I don't know the process of like putting money to the side to get things done. I couldn't appreciate that process when I was a kid, but it got to a point where I was like, okay, these things aren't just happening out of thin air. Like, I didn't get a PlayStation because my mum snapped her fingers and it showed up. Like, she put money aside for it. We didn't go to France or Butlins or wherever because she snapped her fingers and it just happened. Like, she put money towards it. So, although I couldn't appreciate that process back then, I understood that, you need to work towards it in some capacity. So when I got older and I understood money a bit better, that process now made sense of like, oh, okay, cool. If you put money to the side, you can literally do whatever it is you want to do, just as long as you're kind of intentional with money.
I think before I started working, I started like finding ways to make money. I think so around about when I got to secondary school, I think one of the easiest ways to make money was to kind of sell like treats, like sweets and stuff. So at a point, I was selling like donuts at the time. They were quite popular. And yeah, I had to get them in quick. And it's funny because when I started to make the money, I used to think, like, I'm actually doubling my money, like doubling like the dinner money I'll get daily. And so, because what I used to do, because if I wanted stuff, I'd have to ask for it, but it would have to come with like some extra favors. Like I had to do stuff in order to get stuff. So I thought the quickest way of doing that is just kind of just selling stuff. And once I did so, like I could start affording some of the things that I wanted to get. and it's weird because I think that's when I realised like just like self-discipline and just kind of putting money to the side. So sometimes if I get dinner money that's meant for like having lunch at school, I'd kind of put a little bit aside just to like wait till I get my first crib and stuff. And so I think that's when I kind of learned to like just to kind of be a hustler in that way.
How does money impact the way you guys see yourselves? What you feel?
I don't know how to answer that. I mean, I take pride in how I manage money. I mean, I'm quite frugal. I mean, I had been getting money from I was like 16, but it was like, it was a bit messy. Like my parents are kind of going through divorce and my dad like gave me peas as like a manipulation tactic to use against my mum, and it got quite messy. But I always had money, but obviously he's giving me the money and then my mum's like, oh, well, I mean, what am I getting for child maintenance, that sort of stuff, but he was giving it to me directly, so I had the bread and my mum's like, oh, well, really and truly, you should be giving that to me. And I'm like, no, this is mine, get your own from dad. Like, don't fiddle with mine. And then it got a bit messy in it, but literally he's giving me like hundreds of pounds at this point. So yeah, me and my mum kind of got into it and we kind of stopped talking, and at that point I kind of stopped relying on her. Like I could not ask her for money, so I had to make this money stretch until the next payment from my dad, which was usually a monthly thing. So that's kind of where I first learned to kind of not only like fend for myself and, you know, look after myself, provide for myself, but also be frugal, because that money could not run out. If it ran out, I could not go to my mum. That's just the kind of, that's how the dynamics work. So I had money right up, and I didn't need to work because I always had the money anyway. But that's when I first learned to be frugal, and that's kind of something I've just kept with me all now. So, and I feel like you can't underestimate being frugal in this current economy.
So you feel like you're still the same with and without the money then?
Yeah, 100%. I'd say I'm still the same.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the money that I've made over the past couple years has brought me experiences that have enhanced me as a person. So it's like the whole money does it buy happiness question made me question whether that's actually true, you know, in a sense, because I know if I didn't have money, then I would have probably lived a pretty same old routine life, without having to get to experience some of the things I've been able to do. And yeah, I feel like despite my questions towards how important money is to me, I still, if I don't feel like I don't have enough of it, I still don't feel right within myself, to be fair. I feel like, especially as a man, you always want your finances to be in check. And if it goes below a certain point for me, I'm not satisfied. And that's just the facts, really. Like,
What's that point? What's that number?
For right now, it's like if I go below 3K, then I feel broke. And like, I don't even pay rent or anything. I don't have a car, but it's like, it's just the principle of it. It just doesn't sit right with me. I don't know why. It's weird. Could be a pride thing. It probably is, but yeah, like.
This question might not pertain to you per se, but do you have an emergency fund?
Yeah.
You do? How long does it stretch out to?
At the moment, it will stretch till about 6 months.
Okay.
But that's like strictly just for bills. It's not like
anything more
than that. Like, I'm not upside like that, but yeah, just strictly like bills.
Okay. Do you have any of the sort?
What's emergency fund? What's that?
So like, essentially, if anything's to happen and you can't like work or you know, you don't have any money coming in. You've got money set aside to kind of cover you and all your bills or all your financial commitments.
Not that I'm aware of. Emergency fund, nah. Was
So
that
you
like
don't
your
have
parents
any.
said?
No. Like money that you put aside.
Well, yeah.
yourself. It's not like a legal.
We're
thing.
always probably like, I'd always, the money I have now probably always have like maybe 1,500.
Okay.
Just always set there, like, never spend it. That's always for savings
Okay.
currently. But I don't think I don't know. That's a good question actually. I always keep a bit aside basically in case I ever am in a position where I can't work or
Yeah.
I don't know, something happens, but yeah.
Have you guys ever been like drastic?
Ever been who?
Like absolutely kaput?
Oh, like
That's a
down
new English.
bad. Like,
Yeah, drastic. That's
drastic.
new English still. I've never had that.
Skint. Yeah, skint, drastic.
Yeah, so for me, I've had
Wait,
periods.
is that real English?
Yeah.
Real English. Is that real English?
Yeah, drastic.
Is it?
I'll Google that later on, but
No,
yeah,
drastic. Someone check this.
yeah.
Anyway,
Is it there?
There's drastic.
having no money, very poor. There you go.
How do you spell it?
Brassic. Okay, Brassic.
Brassic.
There's a TV program called Brassic. Yes, Brassic.
Okay, so you add the more razzle dazzle. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. It's fine. So I'm like, what? Yeah. So I've had periods where like I've been upside, like I've been really good, but I've had periods where I've been unemployed, and I think I've seen like the differences where like where you could kind of question if you'll still be the same. So where I've had periods of like being unemployed, in my culture, it's seen as a shame to like be unemployed, especially like for a long period of time. Now, if that's the case, people start questioning you. They start questioning your character, your ambition.
Yeah.
Start questioning like what are you even doing in life and stuff like that. And that's where you need to have like the thick skin in you to like pattern your situation in a way like where you're still comfy with that. But I'd say when I was going through that period, that knocked a whole lot of confidence in me, because it's one thing to know that you're in a situation. It's another thing for like family to like remind you constantly, but in a way where it's just like it doesn't come from a good place. It just feels like, bro, you're mocking, like you're trying to get onto me kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just one of those things where like, because I've seen how that is, I don't ever want to go back to there, because you might not recover. Do you know what I mean? First time going through it, cool. Second time, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It becomes a mental thing, isn't it? And that's bigger than, any bill you're trying to pay or get money for.
And I guess the other side of it is not just like your family, but it's just like you kind of look at your peers and you kind of see everyone else kind of moving forward. And then you start to then ask yourself like, what are they doing differently than I'm doing kind of thing? And so if you're not careful, you could just go into like a mental space where you're just like self-doubting, self-depreciating yourself, just getting into like loads of negative thoughts. So yeah, I've seen both sides. I don't want to be bad there still. It's a dark place.
Few words, let's be real, it's not a good place to be.
Yeah. It's nasty being in that place still. I've been there as well, and it's testing, man. It really tests you. Just the ones that you ask yourself like, am I gonna like persevere? Like, am I coming out the other end of this?
I had to isolate, like, because you get people wanting to like invite you out.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, come outside, lay your hair down. And I'm like, I don't feel like worthy to be like among you lot, because you lot are like getting on with your life, and I just feel here like stagnant. I'm not doing anything here. Like, I don't even want you buying me anything because I can't return the favour. So it's just like, let me just isolate until I get back to
How old are you?
that period. I'd say like 25, 26, that period.
How many friends did you lose? Because you see that isolating thing until I'm back on my feet. Like, there's a lot of people that are not necessarily accommodating or understanding of that, and there's a lot of people that kind of see it from a, you know, a selfish point of view, and they're kind of just like, oh, you're airing me, oh, you're skying me, okay, cool, whatever, like, it's dead. So did you actually lose anybody during that period?
I'd say, I don't know if I lost, but I definitely did sever some relationships where it's just like, people can invite you out and then you don't go, so it's like, you don't get invited anymore. I definitely had one friend where, for a period of just coming out of uni, where I just wasn't stable, I can tell like it had a knock-on effect on our relationship, where it's just like, I just wasn't stable at all in that period. And maybe that had an effect on our friendship at the time, so, because we no longer speak in it. So for me, as an underlining, I think, did that contribute to us not kind of speaking anymore? And then the other part is like, where you are isolating and you happen to be like doing your errands, you bump into people and they start asking you like, yo, where have you been? Like, and it's like, do you even want to get into like story time and kind of just share where you've been kind of thing? So you just kind of be like, yeah, I'm good. You know what I mean, just doing my thing and stuff like that. But really, that's the situation.
Yeah. I think like there was a time, I think just when I was 16 was when it started to get hard, because I was at an age where I didn't want to ask my dad for money anymore, particularly, and me and him would also, during those years, still have quite a lot of run-ins. So it's like, I didn't then feel like, this is during lockdown, I didn't feel like I was in a place where I could then just go and ask him for money, even though I needed it. Like, once I was out, this is towards the end of lockdown, I was out, we went to go get McDonald's after. I think the guy I was with, he had peas, like, and my card just declined. I couldn't even pay for Mackey's after a ball session. I was starving. And my dad was like, he could have called me, but I think me and him argued that day. I didn't want to call him and just ask him. I was just like I couldn't really get a job because like no experience. That was a really sticky situation where I went back on the train and I was like, you know, like, what am I doing? Can't afford McDonald's. And, you know, I mean, and that lasted all through 16. Really, I didn't like. Then when I got to 17, something just changed, I think. And ever since then, it's kind of been bliss, but... What are you laughing at?
No, so I'm laughing because there's this saying, like, you know, for like us West Africans, like, if we're in the car with our parents and we drive past the McDonald's, they'll just tell us there's rice at home. And so, like, I'm listening to you saying that you're McDonald's, your dad's telling you can come call me if you need McDonald's, where that's not the option for me. That's not an option still. Well, from my dad anyway. Because to him it's like, you're asking me for McDonald's money, that's a waste of money. To him, like, it's like, what's that? Do you know what I mean? So,
Yes, I mean, the drive-through thing is the same. For me, every time I see that big M, I give him the look, but more time it was like, there's stuff at home, what's the point? But in that situation there, I was out, you know, I was starving. McDonald's is relatively cheap for its value, for the amount they give you, so I was, man, I think,
but I find it interesting because you say you have conversations with your dad about like finances and stuff like that. Like, do you have conversations with your mum about finances?
Yeah, now a lot more. Like, we kind of, you know, we're obviously like trying to just make plans and shit for you know, our futures and, you know, when kids come, it's a lot more, it's a collaborative thing, you know. We talk about financial plans and what we're trying to do for the future and that. So everything's a lot more open now. Back then, it was just, you know, we're going to provide for you until it's time for you to kind of provide for yourself. And then you kind of learn everything on your own. Like, I can't say I was instructed or a particular, you know, way of doing things was outlined for me. I kind of had to just, you know, do everything off the cuff, kind of learn as I went. Yeah.
During those transition phases, yeah, where you're like brassic and whatnot, did you consider doing anything illegal to make money?
Nah.
Did I consider doing anything illegal to get money when I was right pocket? No, I didn't. The thing is with me is that if I go down that route, I feel like I'll get caught very easily because I've always been a good youth. So to me, it's like doing that. The first question I ask myself, like, this is not you. Like, why are you doing this? And secondly, it would be me to get caught. And then they'll make an example out of me. And then I'll be on the metro, like my mugshot. So I think about that and I just say, nah, that's not going to be me. So I haven't done anything like that. But
yeah, it's, I mean, yeah, like, no, it's just not.
You wouldn't?
No.
You wouldn't consider?
No. I've considered it. I've considered it because, like, you know, we've all been down bad or Jurassic, and it's, I mean, accessibility is there. Like, it's there. You can, at one point, you can kind of go outside and, you know, see this happening. But I've always kind of thought that as well. Like, trust it to be, it would be me to get caught. And the way I see it is, you know, you can only win the raffle if you buy a ticket. And someone has to get caught, because someone always gets caught. And I'd just rather not get caught. But, yeah, there's been instances where I've been caught by my mum, let's say, around, like, you know, certain people with certain stuff. And, you know, the way she's dealt with me, I wouldn't want it to go any further than that. It doesn't need to go further than that, so, yeah, no. But I thought about it though, I can't lie. Especially when you see like the elders and, you know, people driving around in whatever cars and wearing all of these tracksuits and, you know, back in the day it was like Everett's jackets and all of them things there, and you just think, right, like, is it that easy? You man are just, like, you literally met up with this skater boy looking guy, gave him a little sign, and now you're buying everyone Chinese, like,
yeah.
What the fuck?
Do you want to tell a lie? I considered doing, what's that one back in college? I think they called it AC.
Oh, yeah.
Where, like,
yeah.
You give them your bank details and then,
disguise.
I mean, they give you a disclosed amount, you know, a small cut.
Yeah.
And I remember I got approached when I was in college. I was in the canteen. It was like, yo, do you want to make 11K? It's 11K. I said, God damn, like, sign me up. How do you do that? It's like, basically, just give me your bank details, innit? Give me your card.
Yeah.
Give me your card.
Sounds fishy.
Why do I have to?
I don't know.
Like, basically, how it works is like, obviously, we use your card details, send you the money, and then we quickly transfer, and then we give you like a little small cut. I said, you know what? Nah, like, I'll think about it though. I'll get back to you.
You
never got back to him.
You made the right choice there.
Yeah, and so, but at the time, the person who approached me, every day in college, dripped down. Like, always had the latest stuff, and I was thinking to myself, do you know what? I could do one of this. At the time, I was getting EMA, so I weren't like down bad, but that £30 a week got me through.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I was like, alright, cool. But
Served its purpose still.
But yeah, I could have.
Yeah.
I could have gone wrong still.
That whole
Do you get EMA? Do you get that stuff in college?
What?
EMA?
EMA.
Nah, what's that?
That's right.
I don't know.
The college used to give you money for attending.
That's enough.
Missed that out 1 year.
I think growing up as well, so like we used to have this, my dad used to do like shopping like for the house and it, just like weekly groceries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think year on year, I started to just see incrementally just how things just kept getting more expensive.
Yeah.
And just how difficult it got to like just maintain that. So to me, it's just like, just looking at that, I was thinking, damn, like life is getting hard. Like, whereas like before, like my dad could just say, look, pick out anything you want kind of thing. And over the years, it was just like, nah, you got to put that back.
Yeah.
Like,
You literally need to buy what you need now.
basically, it's getting to that.
Yeah, man.
You know?
It's a joke.
But it's weird growing up because what we considered like, so what we consider now like Lidl and stuff, be it like the places for like saving money. I mean, it might not be like that now.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, like, it kind of felt embarrassing to like shop there, which is weird because had I known what I know now, then I wouldn't be feel some type of way. I don't know if it was like that for you.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, if you... Was there another one? What was it? Was it...
Netto.
Yeah, Netto.
Netto. That's it. If you told someone you went Netto, oh, the cooking you will receive
From
from...
to Netto's bag on my head.
Bro, I've never been there. I've actually never been into a Netto. I didn't even know what it was. I just knew if you went Netto, you was nasty. Like...
But that's the brutal thing, innit? Because, you know, you could get cussed for just not having things, but it's like, that ain't even my fault. Like,
Yeah.
like if it was down to me, I would have had the right crap. But like, you get cussed for being poor. It's mad. Was I bullied for not having the necessary garms, like for school? Well, not really, because first of all, I made sure I got the right crap, and like it had Nike Air and the things like it needed to say on it, but like. I didn't have enough of like the stuff. So if I got like a pair of trainers, outside of like my school shoes, that's like socializing, going out, football, PE kind of thing. That was me until I got a little bit older and started getting stuff for myself. But sometimes it could just be like, I remember at the time, I think school shoes were like kickers.
Yeah.
Like those were like the up shoes. So like if you had that, then you were kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah.
So I had Wallabies at the time.
Okay.
And I could just get cussed for having that, and it's just like, wow. Like,
No, but Wallabies were cool though.
it's alright.
Until a certain point.
No, it was alright.
Until a certain point.
was alright.
I think
The
everyone...
threshold of
Yeah.
standards.
No, I always felt like there was two versions of Wallabies. There was like a proper one, and there was like a takedown model that just didn't look right. But
The shoe fit when it packed.
I don't know, but it just didn't look right.
Which one did you have?
I had the one that looked right.
The property.
You make it seem like you didn't have anything.
Ah,
You made it seem like you didn't. You had trainers and you had
man said school shoe. Like I should be grateful for one school shoe.
How many school shoes do you need for school?
Okay, wait, but were you wearing it until it had a mouth?
Into the what?
Until it spoke to you every time you step. It's like, get some new one of these, motherfuckers.
You know when the soul just starts...
No. It wouldn't get like that. But that's that. Like I said, I'll get things that I need for like what I actually need. But like outside of like that, like yeah, it's not happening still. But yeah, school shoes. No, I wasn't running it down. That you can see my toe and stuff like that.
So you had 2 shoes a year, or that's what I mean. One for outing and one for school.
Mainly, yeah, like a good Total 90. That was like the good one. Like, so back in the day, Total 90 was the thing. Like, if you had like an AstroTurf and used that.
Astros.
Yeah.
Fashion, innit? Skinny jeans and Astros.
Whoa. No, back then
But you know, man will wear that to the dance.
No, back then it wasn't skinny jeans though.
Tell that is a G's, bro.
Bowling link ups.
No, back then it was like
Total 90s on the bowling alley.
In case there was ever a football sesh after, I always used to wear. There was all of year 7 and 8, always Astros. In case there was a football, just so I know if there's a football, I'm playing, man.
That's a multi-purpose. No.
I loved it.
Yeah, what was he saying again? To what?
Total 90s.
He said 2 shoes per year. He
Oh,
said.
2 shoes. Kinda, yeah. And then that would be that, innit?
Playing devil's advocate, why wasn't that enough at the time?
Because to me, there was like multiple own clothes day, and I wanted to like show out, innit?
Switch it up a bit.
Do you know what I mean? I wanted to show out, like
Yeah.
why am I wearing the same crap for the last enclosed day?
And you know the on-close day, they were like spread out as well. You might get one for like Christmas, and then the next one might not be until like Easter or like, or even like the end of year, like before summer holiday. Yeah. Because if you come in with the same thing, the same shoes, the kids are gonna look at you like, right, you're broke, innit? Like, why are you wearing the same stuff you was wearing like last year or back then? So it was few chances, you had few opportunities to like stunt. And you know, them ones like, there was always that kid that came in their school uniform because you either forgot or you had nothing to wear.
Yeah, I saw. I can't wait how. Yeah, I saw these guys like they were brothers, and they wore a suit and tie, like, and it was crazy because like they wore loafers as well, so they didn't even have the crep. No, but it's. I'll tell you why that was bad. No, I'll tell you why that was
You
bad.
going to school with
But it's on clothes.
No, but I'll tell you why that was bad, because we already wear like, our uniform is a blazer, shirt, trousers, jumper. You've come to own clothes day with a shirt, tie, trousers, loafers. So to me, I remember getting there in the morning and I see both of them playing patball. So I'm like, you're already sweating out in your shirt, tie, loafers and trousers in the morning. That's crazy.
But it wasn't the actual school uniform.
No, that was their own.
Why to play football?
But like,
just to play pat.
but at that time, yeah. But at that time, I knew, okay, you lot Nigerian. Like, I know what kind of happens in that house, and I felt for them at that time. But they were getting cooked. They was getting cooked. But it's not their fault, because I'm sure like if it was up to them,
Yeah, they would have done better.
they would have gone Foot Locker or Champ Sport at the time. Do you know what I mean? And just like got a little something in it. But
They were made to wear a suit and tie. But
yeah.
I mean, nah, to be fair, like if it's out of control, then it's,
Yeah, but the main thing is because you look at other people, you think, why don't I have that? Like, why can't I get that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is my question now. So if this is a scenario, if no one had money, would you care to have money?
If no one had money, would I care to have money? The thing is, it wasn't even a money thing. That's just what it was labelled as. But obviously, you needed money to get what you wanted. So I guess, yeah, it's like inadvertently. But we didn't see it. Obviously, we was made to know that it was a money issue because everyone would start cooking you.
Yeah, the whole school uniform really helped me, because if it was like a no school uniform policy, I'd be in trouble. I'll be in trouble. Like, yeah, what am I gonna wear?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. What am I gonna wear, kind of thing. But like, yeah, school uniform. If it weren't for that policy, whew.
How did you go to college? College.
EMA.
You got a job.
EMA.
Okay.
Yeah, when that backdated payment hit, I swear I felt so rich. That was like the first time like I proper like had like a lot of money.
Yeah.
And but at the time when it happened, like I felt like my parents were like pocket watching a lot. So that they'll see me get myself stuff, and I'm like, well, I actually look for it, but you lot didn't want to get it for me. So now they're like, nah, you're spending too much. You can't get this. How many trainers do you need? I'm like, listen, right now I need enough. Like, I need a rotation. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
So before we close, what beliefs do you guys have about money that you learned at a young age that you still hold today?
They've changed. Whatever beliefs I had when I was young pertaining to money has changed now. Like, I was more into, clothes and that sort of stuff when I was younger because the pressure was more back then. But now, the pressure's less in a way. Even though you still see guys trying to, move their weight about and what they're wearing, they got this or that and whatever. the pressure's not there. I don't have the pressure to, oh, I need to have this or I need to have that. Like, I just see it as I have what I have, and if it's enough, if I need more, then I'll buy it. If I don't, then it's whatever. And there's a bigger picture to it now. Whereas as kids, it's like, that's all you have to flex. That's all you have to stunt, like on close day, making sure you have shoe, whatever. That's it. That's pretty much it. That's all like the kids kind of care about at school. So
I feel like my beliefs with money now is growing up. It just always felt like it was like a scarcity kind of thing, where it's just like, if I needed something, oh, when I have money kind of thing. That's what I usually tend to hear. But there wouldn't be like no other solution to that. It's just, oh, I don't have money. Or if you don't have money, like, what can we do to kind of do that kind of thing? So now, like, I've had to break out of like that feeling of like, oh, I don't have money, or break out of feeling scared to spend money, because for a long time I'd always had to feel like I needed to like hold on to money in order to like have more. But where I'm learning now in my career, it's just kind of better to like have like an abundance mindset where you always believe you can get money by providing solutions. And not only that, but like invest in yourself. You got to spend money to make money. So if you can invest in yourself, invest in like your items and stuff, you'll always find a way to like make more in the end. So for a period of time, I'm not gonna lie, I had a period where I just felt like mad, like stingy, and like didn't want to give. But that was just my way of kind of just holding on to what I had. Do you know what I mean? But now I just rather just like not hold on to money much. Like I feel like if I'm always working on myself and I'm always leveling up, there'll always be like more opportunity to make more in that period. So yeah, I had to go through like a long period of like just shifting my mentality towards like money.
Or like saving to spending, and
Yeah.
I hear that. Sort of same with me. You get them months where you're really like, no, I'm gonna spend this X amount, or you're a lot more stingy with it because you value it so much to keep hold of it. But then there's other months where you're like, well, I've earned this, I want to enjoy myself. Let me spend it here, let me spend it there. You don't really feel much about it. That's for me anyway. I don't know, like.
I will say this though, just as growing up, like if I am thinking about starting a family, I do want to have things put in place for them to make sure like by the time they get to a certain age, they're ready to be competitive, like in terms of if they need to jump on a property ladder, if they need like a new car or something. Do you know what I mean? I've always felt like, just looking back, I don't think I was prepared for, if that made sense. Like, I don't think me and my siblings were properly like prepared for, and I feel like me and my siblings had to go through a period of just kind of just figuring it out, just kind of just having the basics and that's it. And yeah, I grew up like resenting like my parents a lot for it, because it's like I always felt like I just didn't have what a lot of people had in terms of like their experiences and stuff like that. And so for me, I'm getting to a point where I want to make sure like everything I'm doing now is for the future. And, you know, when I do get to that stage and I cross that bridge of like starting a family and stuff, I want to make sure like I have things in place, because I think growing up the way I did, you can kind of just, you might not be so risk averse, you might not want to take risks, you might not want to go out and try new things because your first thought is to just go out and make money and go out and just get any job to like start buying things, as opposed to like just actually doing your passions and what you feel like you want to do. So I don't feel like I've had that like that space or like that risk to like just actually do the things that I want to do that actually don't make me money for a period of time, but eventually will do, if that makes sense. So yeah, I feel somewhere at that. Yeah.
That's a good segue. So, in terms of your careers, do you pick your careers based on how much money you're going to make, or how much fulfillment or passion you can put into it?
So do we pick our careers based on how much fulfillment that we're going to get from it? It's actually interesting you said actually, because I was going to circle back to what Luca was saying earlier on. Do you know when you were saying that you've had money and not necessarily felt fulfilled?
Yeah.
So is there like an intrinsic attachment to fulfillment and money for you?
Yeah, I mean, say if I was making a lot of money from the thing I'm passionate about, then I'd have a lot more fulfillment. It's just that the money I've made has, for my age, it was fairly good, but it was from something that I'm not passionate about.
Yeah.
It was literally just digits loading up every month on my screen.
Right.
So it got to a point where it was like, it wasn't fulfilling, but I know there's been certain times where I've made a bit of money from like, I don't know, selling this beat or mixing this for an artist, and I've felt more fulfilled from that than making double that in a hospitality job, you know, if that makes sense. So I think how you're getting it can determine the fulfillment.
That you get from it?
For me, yeah. Yeah.
Because right now you're doing your passion, innit?
Well, I'm doing my passion, but I'm not relying on my passion for money. I'm relying on my passion is right now the end goal is to make money from it. But right now it's, you know, it's just the groundworks really. But for the money that I use to pay for my holidays and all clothes, etc., that's all from the job I'm doing in events, which is like, it's calm, it's cool. As far as jobs go when you're 19, 18, it's pretty good, but it's not my passion and it's not what I'd want to see myself doing in 5 years. So the fulfillment from getting that money can only give you so much, you know, so.
Yeah, I find it interesting because growing up where I came from, any career outside like academia or anything outside of like professional jobs, such as like being like a doctor or lawyer or anything in that kind of realm, was not considered as a proper career path. So I like the fact that you get to really explore doing music, because I feel like growing up, that's something I really enjoyed. But there was no way like I could think about doing that. So I feel like a lot of my career choices now are just due to like making money, and as well just kind of having a happy medium to like be contenting yourself and also like kind of make your parents kind of happy with your choices. So
yeah, I think there is that pressure, you know, of like people will look at, you know, more creative careers as they won't regard them as proper jobs. But it's like, I guess the way I was with my dad, he sort of went down the same path. Like he was never academic in that sense, but he's made a good living of freelancing in something he's passionate about. That's in a sense more on the creative side. So it's like I'm just trying to follow those footsteps really. But I've never really been told a right or wrong. Like it's just been what you want to do, follow. So for that, you know, I can't complain at all. But yeah, I'm not rushing money with the thing I'm passionate about. I'm not doing any of it for money at the moment. The job I'm doing that I gotta go to like in a couple hours is, you know, that's for money, but eventually I do want to see it change. Because I know when I see that change, that's when hopefully I'll get the fulfillment from money that I'm sort of craving at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Going back to your question about, you know, fulfillment when it comes to earning the money, honestly, I don't think there's much that I've come across or experienced right now that gives me, you know, pure fulfillment in earning the money. I just need the money to pay my bills. So I'm just gonna do my job and earn my money and pay the bills. I mean, not to say that I'm doing something that I hate, because I actually enjoy what I'm doing, you know, I'm in careers. But I wouldn't choose it for myself, put it that way. If I was to choose a job that I thought I would get the most fulfillment out of, it wouldn't be what I'm doing now, or what I've done at most points in my life anyway.
Do you feel like there's like anything you want to purchase, like goal-wise, that would make you happy? But even if you didn't get it, would you still be content?
That's a good question. I don't think there's anything I can tell you right now. I probably have to think about it. But I feel like I could be content without it. I feel like there's enough going on. Like I have enough interests, things that can, pay highly, things that don't pay as high, that I could do and remain content. So, yeah.
Yeah. And that's it still.
What's the goal financially before we close? Like, what's the number that you want to attain that will make you feel like, okay, cool, I can just do whatever I want to do now?
As in a number of monies
Yeah.
that I could reach to be happy.
Pretty much, yeah.
Is there a number? I don't want to work. Ever.
So what does that look like? What's that number that you feel like, cool, I've got that to, so I don't need to work for money again, I just do what I want.
I've never thought about it, but I mean, the obvious numbers is like what? 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, 1 billion, like, but that's just me throwing numbers out there. If you're talking about, I don't want to say realistic because, it's all realistic, it depends on kind of your own drive and, what you want to do. If you want to start a business and scale it and do all of this, entrepreneurialism. If you want to do all of that shit, it's, it can be realistic if you're willing to apply yourself. But, yeah, man, I feel like there's more cause for all of that, especially in today's day, if you're really trying to achieve like financial freedom and that sort of stuff as well. Going to, jobs for life and, just having a single stream of income, as they say, it's becoming less and less, plausible these days. So it's kind of important to kind of have other, streams of income and whatever you want to call it as well. So that is important, I'd say, in today's day.
Yeah. That's an important thing for me, I think. Like, I'm hoping I could have multiple streams of income. But, these things you just got to see. Can't, who knows?
So how does that number look like then, if you get multiple streams of income?
To say a number, I mean, it depends what age. Like, during my years now, I want to get to like a 10K goal. For me, that's my next step. If I hadn't have gone Asia for 7 weeks, I would have probably been close to that now, but that set me back. But I wouldn't change that for the world because that was an amazing experience. But that's within these next couple of years, next year ideally, I want to see 10K. What about you?
Yeah, I don't know if mine is like a number, but to be more flexible, I just always ask myself, what would I like my day to look like this time next year? Does it look like me having more time to do what I love to do? Does it look like me consistently traveling? Because when I think about it like that, then it allows me to think, okay, if I want my day to look like this, what am I going to do to work toward that? So for me, not that I have a number, but if I want to be comfy in London, I just need to be able to just get around very easily. Multiple trips away from this country because there's no sun. It's quite depressing. And then as well, multiple streams of income to the point where it's just like, you don't know where everything's coming from. You just like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Oh, here's this. And then you can kind of just enjoy life that way. But I guess ultimately, you kind of just want to get to a point where you're not working as much.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you got to think, is this something you can do for the next 40 years, just getting up every day, just working? you know, not to sound like depressing, because I love what I do in it, but like, for you guys, is that something you can do?
No, but it's crap though, innit? Like, it's crap waking up every day for the next 40 years doing the same shit. Like, if you enjoy what you're doing, then fine, but, you know, I doubt you enjoy what you're doing more than you would enjoy waking up and doing what you want. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, no, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, I don't know if our bodies are made for that, to work for like 70 odd years, 60 odd years. I don't know. This doesn't sound sustainable.
Your passion? What you do now?
Oh yeah. So like, I'm product manager, and so it makes.
Why do you say it like that?
Huh?
I'm product manager. What's wrong with you? Yeah, I'm down, bro.
So this guy lost it.
Is it because last week you didn't want to take off your shoes?
Oh, okay.
That's
yeah,
Is it?
What's the shoes got to do?
Hey, I feel like he's trying to get me back for that. Do you know what I mean? Like, feel a little spice on that.
You saw it though, didn't it? I'm not going mad. You saw it? Alright.
No, but
Now, when you're doing your like interview presenter thing in the beginning, I'm backing you in it. Like, help me here.
it's not. Lads, come on now. I saw it, but I don't think you meant it in that way. But you know, I saw the certain side as at this laugh.
Do you know what's weird? It's when I say it, I feel like I'm at work when I say it because I have to explain it to people, and like it makes me kind of go automatically towards that. Okay. Do you know what I mean?
I didn't say anything.
No, it's not even like. And yes, it will never be one's intention to say it in a boastful manner, but you know.
Nah, he's too big there.
I'm backing you now, like.
What? It don't sound like it.
What do you think?
Nah, you get onto man still.
You think I'm getting onto you?
Yeah.
I wasn't the one laughing. Remember, I said nothing. People were laughing. I said.
Someone said it in it. That's what you said, but not me in it. But yeah,
I'm actually. That was me trying to back you there. So.
As I say, yeah, product manager. It's a mix between like me being a creative, me getting to do a lot of business, and me getting to like work with tech. So I get to like do all of the three combined, and it's great for me because I've always wanted to do something that involves a bit of both, and where my role allows me to do a load of different things. So no day actually looks the same. So I've had roles before where like I just kept doing the same old thing, and it just got quite boring.
Mundane.
Yeah. Whereas now, I get to do like so many different things in a day, and it's just like it always keeps me interested.
Yeah.
It always keeps me on my toes, and I guess for what I'm trying to do anyway within my field. There's great incentive for me to like really level up and get my experience because at the end of it, there's some really great salaries to like kind of hit and benchmark.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of what I do it for now. So I'm quite lucky to kind of be in the position that I'm in, but I definitely like work for it. So
yeah, you, as you said, you went through times where you were questioning.
Oh yeah,
things. So,
for
I mean, but it's deserved.
Yeah.
It's deserved. I just.
Sorry.
I think is my worry is that like I don't see this happening, but my worry is that you know I might get a job that is extremely mundane for me. It's like I need that level of waking up and maybe not knowing what I might be doing today. You know, because I know with these hospitality jobs, like you know, no hate to people that are doing it as their thing. I mean, it's a hustle. It is a hustle. You're on your feet 9 hours a day, but I couldn't do it. It's just like I'd feel so little purpose in my life. But everyone's circumstance is different, you know. That's me. No hate to people that do it, because it is a hustle. So.
It seems like purpose is a big thing for you.
Yeah, you said it a lot still.
Yeah, it is. It is because like I've spent the last 4 years of my life really working towards. You know, I've kind of I've sort of known what I wanted to do since I was 15. So it's like if I'm then ending up doing something that's sort of the easy way out, it's like I'll feel this lack of purpose. It's like, what have I just been working the longest for? For a hobby? Nah, it's not. It won't sit right with me, and I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm sure I'll do it.
But do you need the purpose though? Because I feel like without it, you're always gonna kind of feel like empty-ish. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think like I feel like I have a strong purpose at the moment. So to be able to make a career of that would be, that's things I dream about. So yeah, it's not vital. It's not like a make or break thing. If I didn't have a purpose and I worked a job that I was cool with and I got enough money, I would be calm as well. Like, but yeah, I think, I don't deep it too much. I just want to do something with somewhat fulfillment, really.
But yeah, I mean, that brings us to the end. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's conversation about money and our kind of perspective on money. And you know, I extend the question to you guys, everyone that's watching. How do you see money? Have you seen money? How do you see money currently? And yeah, pretty much. Also, what's your full circle moment, with money as well? Like, what have you learned from your past? Now I'm gonna pause for editing purposes, isn't it?
No, the closing.
Safe to say.
See, not so simple, is it?
You got